Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. This is your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, with yet another update on the latest sports news within and beyond our borders. And now for your latest on the hit list. Namibia's brave warriors need close to 3.5 million per international friendly match in preparation for the Africa Cup of Nations, which is slated for January. Namibia Football Association Acting Secretary General Jochen Traut has confirmed. Namibia are set to compete in the Côte d'Ivoire in January in Africa's biggest football showpiece. The country was last week drawn in Group E against Tunisia, South Africa and Mali. Many within football circles have indicated that the team needs at least 4 to 5 friendly matches before they compete in the competition. Traut further revealed that the lack of international accredited stadiums in the country has worsened the situation. He acknowledged that the football team has to be well prepared ahead of the upcoming tournament. Many other African football countries have already started playing international friendlies ahead of the tournament. And as you can see there, we have a competition that has started running. Win your dream trip to the Côte d'Ivoire. Win an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 people to the Côte d'Ivoire. Witness the thrilling matches in person. Cheer for your favorite team alongside passionate fans. Immerse yourself in the vibrant culture of Côte d'Ivoire. All you can do there is just scan that QR code as you see it, courtesy of that is GoTV, Tafelaka, Namibia Media Holdings and DSTV. That is Soccer Joel program that is coming up, so please stay tuned and don't go away for that one. It will be a program that is due. The Namibia Football Association NFA will probe the behavior of fans after cans were thrown onto the pitch during 2 Debmarine Namibia Premiership matches over the weekend. NFA League Director Mabos Fries told our sister publication, Namibian Sun, that the association is aware of the incidents but awaits a full report before further action is taken. The cans were thrown during Chula Chula FC and African Stars 1-1 draw at the Hagegeinkop Stadium on Saturday. The incident occurred after the northern-based side equalized in the last minutes of the match. A similar incident was also reported on Sunday at a match between Orlando Pirates and Chula Chula FC. The 2023 Omaruru Street Mile was launched today in the capital as runners prepare to compete in the event at the weekend. The event has always attracted top runners who grace the town in Erongo region with their presence. The organizers expect more entries to come on board as they prepare for the event. Tilman van Liel, our reporter, was at the event and conducted an interview with Erongo Sport Officer Bethel Karumendu. Here it is.
I'm with Mr. Bethel Karumendu, the main organizer and the sport officer for the Omaruru region. Bethel, this year is the 10th year of the street mile, and from humble beginnings to a century later.
Of course. This is the 10th edition. We started in 2013, our first edition with 484 participants. Last year we have 1,296. The expectation of this one will be 1,500 if the entries are targeted according to our demand or observation. As I said, this is a good race. Even World Athletics have recognized a road mile at the recent World Championship pass in September. It's a combination of endurance and a combination of speed together. So what expectation you can have the marathon guys, you can have the 800, 1500 runners together. So the expectation is very hard. The guy who have endurance and speed will be able to take the 7,000 home in the pocket.
Yeah, that is for the elite senior men and ladies that can win $7,000 for the first place.
Absolutely.
Is there second place and third place? Is there's money as well?
We give second place, third, fourth, 5, up to 7th place. The juniors, we give up to 5th place. And then the veterans and masters, we give up to the 3rd place.
Excellent stuff. Berthold, the mile in Omaruru is an annual high point on the calendar. The local people, they from Omaruru, I believe they enjoy this. It's like the circus has come to town, and we.
Absolutely. As I'm speaking, one of the local primary schools have already entered 350 kids from the primary division.
Okay.
So tomorrow I'm going to collect 3 other schools' entries. So we may have already 1,000 entries from the local schools already.
Yeah.
So the expectation is very high, and everyone wants to do the mile.
And tell me quickly, last question, any international athletes coming from, say, Botswana?
We have Orapa Athletic Club from Botswana that are coming through. We may expecting also from Zambia. They still have to sort out their transportation things by tomorrow or Thursday to Omaruru.
Okay, so the excellent stuff. So the local athletes, like the ladies and gents from the correctional services, NDF, NAPOL, they can have they can expect stiff competition.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Berthold, thank you very much for your time and.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
That was indeed Berthold Karumendu, a man who has a passion for long and middle distance running in the country. We hope the street mile will go according to plan. The spotlight will be up next after the visit to the marketplace. Stay tuned. In today's spotlight, the 2023 Nedbank Desert Dash was launched today at the bank's headquarters in Windhoek. The event will take place on 8 December with cyclists taking on the Namib Desert in an attempt to be crowned champions of one of the hardest and longest cycling competition in the world. Cyclists will begin cycling from Windhoek, covering 397 kilometers all the way to Swakopmund. The event is said to have attracted international cyclists from all over the world. There will also be a new half dash category which will commence at the Hollard Point and road to the finish line. Sport Rep was at the launch and compiled this for you.
Every year I'm invited, and the wind is also invited. It's not totally unfair, really. It's not good. I don't appreciate this fact that when I'm invited, that the wind is also invited. But okay, good, we are here. And we'll just have to make the best out of whatever it is. Ms. Laura Malta, Nedbank Namibia Managing Director, Mr. Leandro Bor, Lema Events, Mr. Billy Ferdous, Indombo Automatic Group, Mr. Sam Kawabiliro, Head Corporate Communications and Transformation, Holland, representative of Super Spa, representatives of Trek, representative of, I don't know who else, esteemed invited guests, the media, the people of this bank who always like to take other people's money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you here today at the launch of the Nedbank Desert Dash 2023. First, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for their unwavering commitment and dedication in bringing us all together again for this momentous event. I'm pleased to see the growth of the Desert Dash, as well as many other Nedbank sponsored sporting events, such as there's the Windhoek Pedal Power Race Series, the Nedbank Rakarat XC Series, and the Nedbank Cycle Challenge, which has been running over a few years. Today, we celebrate another milestone of this incredible bike race, which is renowned both locally and globally. We also recognize the profound impact that sport can have on our land. Sporting events such as this one are essential for our nation's growth as they unite us, encouraging well-being and cultivate a sense of national unity. The Nedbank Desert Dash serves as a prime illustration of this concept, as it not only highlights our country's beauty, but also motivates Namibians to embrace active living and tackle individual challenges. I don't know about the people here at this bank, how many of them are actively involved in some of the events?
Things about the Desert Dash have been said before and the previous speakers. I think what maybe, it's 19 years now that the Desert Dash has been going. Next year is 20 years. So I think, and I was thinking about it just now, because I think most of the big events in the world, be it Olympics or this or World Cups and so on, and some of the big races in South Africa, skipped a year or two because of COVID. We didn't. So I think that's quite something special. It was difficult decisions back then. I think most of us forgot what COVID was about, but all the protocol and the right things to do and not to do, and Nedbank and us, Limo Events, we just decided to pull through and we got lucky. And I think that's quite an achievement that we've managed to have a continuous 19 years and next year 20 years. So. I think people forget, or everybody assumes that we know what the Dash is all about. But just in brief for the media and people that maybe don't know, it's 397 kilometers. It starts at the Grove, ends at Platz am Meer in Swakopmund, 24 hours. And you can do it as a four-man team. You can do it in a two-man team. You can do it solo. Obviously, the bucket list, the aim for us is to have people do it solo, which is quite an achievement. Last year we had a really big percentage of non-finishers in the solo category. Not exactly how much, but almost 50%, so that was quite harsh. I think the conditions and the wind and so on, every year it's never easy, but this year we see that the roads authorities, they are tarring the road up to Kupferberg. I think we're already at 6 kilometers, and at the rate they're going, it might be 10 kilometers of climbing that is tarred, so maybe that saves people 10 minutes or 15 minutes and a lot of energy. So maybe we'll have more people finishing this race. So next year, 20 years, obviously we'll have to come up with some new ideas and surprises. Maybe a big surprise will be Marta participating in a four-man team. Anyway, we'll come up with something, some lucky draws, big prizes to be won. We'll think of something. That's next year. I think what's new this year, we have a half dash. I'm not sure if that has been received, but we said, it was actually one of the riders that is getting on with age. His name is Theo. Let's just call him Theo.
As a co-sponsor, we are indeed proud and privileged to be part and parcel of this prestigious event, the Nedbank Desert Dash. I've done it myself, only once, then I got wise. So, it's indeed a really prestigious event, and it's got an international flavor, with all the countries participating. But it's tough. It's really, really tough. Even to support, if you drive a support vehicle, it is almost as tough. And I had the privilege, to do it for solo riders, for 4-man teams, for 2-man teams, everything. So maybe, me and Martha must start practicing, and we must do, next year's Desert Dash for the 20th anniversary of the Desert Dash. So I put out the challenge. I will start practicing now. I would not like to waste your time because a lot has been said already. But, as we say at the Toyota, lead the way. And I can think of another slogan, Money's bike maker. Impossible is nothing, you will need it. So to all the participants, all the best. Good luck. Have a safe and enjoyable ride. And then obviously to the organizers and all the sponsors involved. Thank you. Without you, there wouldn't have been an event like this. I would like to end off with the slogan on my shoulder. It's in Afrikaans. It's gooi kole. Thank you.
Well, the Desert Dash is never a kid's play, so the cyclist will have to be prepared for that one. Are you ready to hear some of the best untold stories of our legends? Well, wait no further because Golden Oldies is up next after the break. Stay tuned. Our golden oldies for this week is none other than Eliphas Safile Shivute, who was born 27 September 1974. He retired from football due to a knee injury in 2002 after a career spent in Chinese and European football as well as domestically. Shivute became the first Namibian to play for a top-level side in Europe and also is the man who scored the first international goal for the Brave Warriors. Born in Olukonda, Shivute grew up in Kwisipmund, Walfish Bay, and affectionately known as Safile. He started playing in 1989 for local side Blue Waters and later 11 Arrows before playing for German 5th Division Schwarzweiß Duran in 1996, a non-professional side for which he scored over 13 goals in a short spell. When he scored a hat-trick for Duran in one of the league matches that the Alamania Aachen scouts spotted him and immediately entered into negotiations for a contract. These negotiations ended into Safile signing a one-year contract with 3rd Division Aachen. He then had several trials in Scotland. According to the Daily Record staff, Safile has had trials with Dundee United and Hearts earlier, but Shivute decided to sign for Motherwell. Shivute had been part of the national team since 1992, having earned 49 caps and scored 9 times. That is a legend of Namibian football, and many will always remember him for his calmness. We will once again visit the marketplace before Le Rugby Joel. Stay tuned. Simon Raiwalui said on Tuesday he will leave the role of Fiji head coach at the end of the year after the Pacific Islanders were beaten by England in the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals. Raiwalui's swashbuckling team impressed at the tournament, memorably beating Australia and eventually relegating the Wallabies to a historic elimination in the group phase. Raiwalui, a 49-year-old former lock for Newport Saracens and French club Racing 92, took over as Fiji coach in February after Vern Cotter resigned. Despite a thrilling late comeback, Fiji was eliminated after losing 30-24 to England in Marseille on Saturday. Our international correspondent Ariel Hart is on standby for the latest on Globetrotter. But first, let us once again visit the marketplace.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with rugby news first. It's Rugby World Cup France 2023 that continues. Quarterfinals done, semi-finals coming up this coming weekend, and it's France the host that's out of the tournament, lost against South Africa on Sunday. And news from France, the French Rugby Federation is that they confirmed that they want Fabien Galtier, their current coach, to continue to coach the team going forward. Galtier had good success. They also won the Six Nations under Galtier, but lost on Sunday against South Africa in the quarterfinals. Very tight game by 1 point. And then also Australian coach Eddie Jones confirmed that he wants to continue to coach Australia. There were rumours that he will move on to coach Japan after the World Cup. It was not a good campaign for Australia. They didn't make the playoffs in this year's campaign. And it is Eddie Jones that said that he wants to continue to be the coach of Australia. He said that he's committed to Australian rugby and he wants to honour his 4-year contract. And so it seems like he will continue to coach Australia. Also related to South African rugby, it is Jacques Nienaber that will also move on. He will not continue to be the South African coach after the World Cup. He will coach in Ireland. And continuing with football news, so soccer news, it is from Euro 24, European Championship 24 qualifiers. Not good news for a game that was played in Brussels. It is the game between Belgium and Sweden that was abandoned, and that was because of a shooting in the city where 2 citizens from Sweden died, and the game was abandoned at half time. And it is in Group F, and it is also in Group F where Austria beat Azerbaijan by 1-0. It is Austria and Belgium comfortably leading in Group F, and it is also in Group B that was Netherlands that beat Greece by 1-0. That was games played on Monday, and France and Netherlands leading in Group B. The Euro Championships will be played in Germany in 2024. Currently there's 10 groups. There's 60 teams that's playing, trying to get 23 spots to qualify for Europe 2024. It is Germany as the host that already automatically qualified for the tournament. And continuing international sports news with tennis news, it is after the Shanghai Open, it is now the Tokyo Open. Not all the top players in the world playing in this. It is, for instance, Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic and Daniel Medvedev not playing in Tokyo. But the number 1 seed, Taylor Fritz from the USA, he's through to the next round. It was in the round of 32. He beat Cameron Norrie of Great Britain, and the score there was 6-4 and 6-3. Not good news for number 3 seed, that is Alexander Zverev of Germany. He lost in the round of 32. He lost to Jordan Thompson. He's of Australia, and it was a 6-3 and 6-4. Another Australian that did well, it is Alex de Minaur. He's the number 4 seed. He beat Jack Draper of Great Britain in a tough game, 4-6, 7-6 and 7-6. And the number 2 seed in the tournament, still in the tournament, and that is Casper Ruud. He will play in the round of 32. And also Francis Tiafoe of the USA, another player that is one of the early favourites. To conclude today's international sports news, it is golf news. It is the Nedbank Golf Challenge, that is Africa's major, that will take place in November at Sun City. That is from the 9th to the 12th of November at the Gary Player Country Club. Good news that there's a strong field that will play. It is part of the DP World Tour, so it's a strong field that will play. Confirmation of 2 new players that will play. They both played in the Ryder Cup recently, where Europe beat the USA in Italy, and the rookies that will play is Nikolai Højgaard and also Robert McIntyre. Already a strong field that's going to be assembled, 66 players that will play in this event, and some of the players I can mention that will tee it up in November is Tommy Fleetwood and also Justin Rose, and then also Americans Max Homa and Justin Thomas. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Ari. This brings us to the end of today's show. Do catch the Sport Wrap show again tomorrow at the same time and place. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, it is goodbye.